Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Boss Ian and welcome back to another one of my videos. And today I'm going to be talking to you guys about the secret, mysterious man that Maxis talks about in the Zetsubou No Shima radios. So Maxis is still floating in the house with the children. We have no clue where the house is going and not really any knowledge as to what the significance of the house is. But every map we get keeps moving the story forward and we keep learning more and more. So let's listen to the first radio.
Reality itself is shifting. I find myself reflecting on memories I am no longer sure are my own. Beyond the window, I saw a wasteland stretching as far as the eye could see. I saw a scourge visited upon the earth. I saw the children withered before my eyes. That was before he came. Samantha has been returned to me once more. As have you, Edvard. As have you.
So essentially, Maxis says that he has some sort of a vision where he looks out of the window and he sees a wasteland stretching as far as the eye can see, and he sees that the children have withered before his eyes. From that, we can assume that the children are, of course, Samantha and Eddie. Then he mentions that it happened before someone arrived, and that Samantha has returned to him, including Edward. Now, we need to stop and look at that sentence. Why is Maxis pausing? Why does he say it like that? I think that it's pretty obvious that the Eddie that lives with Samantha and Maxis in the floating house is the child version of Edward Richtofen. Just look at his hair. I mean, it's really similar. The question, though, is why does he have that child? What is Maxis planning here? Moving on to the next radio.
He explained everything to me. He will explain everything to you. Though his very presence defied logic, defied reason, he told me that he would help. I could not refuse.
So Maxis says that the mystery man explains everything to him. When he says everything, what does he mean? I think it would be pretty ridiculous if this mystery man literally told him everything there is to know in terms of life and the universe. Maybe he just told Maxis everything that he needed to know. Then he goes on to say that his very presence defied logic and reason and that he's gonna help. What about this mystery man is so spectacular that his presence defies logic? I mean, is he like in a physical form or in some sort of like a different dimension or something? A weird thought that I had was that maybe it was God. On to the next radio.
The siren has not sounded in many months. I am confused by the changing world around me. I look at my hands, and they are not the hands I remember. The wrinkles, veins, and liver spots that textured my skin have disappeared, as though time itself was unraveling against its natural order. Is this the end, or a new beginning?
He mentions the sirens, and we clearly heard the sirens in the Origins cutscene at the end of the Easter egg, and he says that he hadn't heard it in a few months. I mean, where are they? How have they been gone for months? Where are they going that's taking them that long? Maybe they're waiting for the Origins crew to do something. I mean, maybe they have to do something before Maxis can proceed. Maxis says that he looks at his hands, which essentially confirms that he's, no longer the flying Maxis drone from Origins. And that pretty much confirms that there, and he says that he's essentially getting younger, so he asks whether or not time is reversing and if it's the end or a new beginning. So maybe I kind of understand what's happening here. When he says new beginning, I kind of think of an entirely new universe where everything restarts and life can go back to the sunshines and rainbows it used to be. I kind of think that in this story, Eddie and Samantha in the house could be Adam and Eve. It's kind of gross to think that Richtofen and Samantha could have kids and shit, but anyways, on to the next radio.
After so long in isolation, we had begun to believe that we were the only survivors of the catastrophic event that had shaped our lives. Supplies were beginning to run low, and I was forced to prepare for the worst outcome. Just as I feared that we were truly alone, just as I feared that the end was near, there was a knock at the door.
So So he just goes on to mention that he was fearing the end of their survival is pretty near, and then he heard a knock at the door of the floating house, I should mention, unless this house wasn't floating at the time this mysterious person came to the door. I really don't know how this person would come to the door if this was a floating house. Moving on to the final radio.
You swore a promise to me, Edward. It may have been a long time ago, but I am sure you will not have forgotten. You swore to follow my instructions, to comply with my every order. You swore to enact whatever plan I conveyed to you, all in the hope that we could overcome the chaos that we ourselves had created. You have kept your word. However much it pains my heart, I owe it to you to confess. I'm sorry, Edvard. I have withheld certain truths from you.
Now this one really annoys me because after all of the stuff that he says about Richtofen's loyalty and how he praises him and whatnot, he goes on to mention that he has something to confess to Richtofen, and of course he stops the radio there. What the fuck, man? Why couldn't he just tell us what the secrets were? Okay, maybe those secrets were just too big to say on the radio, and maybe he needs to tell Richtofen in person. So hopefully we get to see Maxis in person or something like that, in DLC 4 perhaps, and maybe even the floating house. I literally can't wait to see the ending of Zombies, even though it's gonna be extremely sad that it's coming to an end. Honestly, there's probably gonna be more zombies after this in the next Treyarch game, but stories always have an ending, and who knows, maybe this story ends and another one begins. I still kind of don't feel really good about that because I just can't imagine zombies without the 4 original characters. I mean, look at the transit characters, they're really effed up there. I really don't know. Let me know down in the comment section below what you think about all of these radios and how and what it means to the storyline, at least for you. But other than that, that's gonna be it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Please leave a rating, please subscribe, and have a wonderful day. See you in the next one.